In this video, I'll be taking you through the top 20 things you must do after installing the brand new Zorin OS 16. This is not another video listing the obvious things like changing the wallpaper. Rather, I'll be sharing practical steps that'll make your computer perform better, your internet speed faster, your laptop battery last longer, and give you so many more realistic improvements. Every time I install Zorin or any other Linux distro, I spend the first 15 minutes tweaking some things up. Linux is extremely powerful, and with some tweaks here and there, it all gets so much better. The following 20 things will supercharge your Linux experience, so let's get started. Before we do anything here, it's important that we are running the latest of all the packages. So let's check for and apply these updates. But before that, let's tweak some update options. Open the software store and then click on Software and Updates. On the first page, make sure the first 4 entries are selected. Then, in the Other Software tab, turn on Canonical Partners. This has few proprietary but important software like some media codecs. Close the window, open a terminal and run sudo apt update sudo apt upgrade. You can copy paste these commands from the description below. This will check for updates and install the latest packages. I know you just installed the system, but there will be newer updates that you'll need to install. Once this is done, restart your computer. Zorin 16 gives you a lot of options and freedom in desktop customization right from this fantastic application called Zorin Appearance. Firstly, you get 4 popular desktop layouts to choose from. They are activated with a single click and come fully pre-configured. Then you can tweak the accent color of your system and also choose between dark and light themes. Under interface, we get some important customization options like the window control placements, animation switch, control for what the super button does, and some other things. Also, this jelly mode is kinda, well, jelly. Then we have some additional options here. Go play with them, mix and match and make the desktop your own. Of course, don't forget to throw in a cool wallpaper. Now it's time to enhance the functionality of your brand new Zorin installation with some fantastic applications. You can open the software store and browse. You can install snaps, flatpak apps, and native .deb packages from the software store. This is possibly the biggest Linux software library here. Then we can install apps directly from the terminal too. Here we'll be installing some must-have apps from the terminal. Let's get VLC Media Player, GIMP for image editing, gparted for disk management, Zero AD, which is a fun game that I enjoy playing. Let's also download Google Chrome since it's the most popular browser. We need to download it from the web. Download the proper .deb file, and once it's downloaded, open a terminal in your download location and run this command to install it. I have a video of the top 15 must-have Linux applications which you'll find really useful. I've shared some amazing ones there, so make sure to check it out too. Zorin 16 automatically installs NVIDIA graphics drivers. Anyway, let's make sure all the drivers needed for your computer are correctly installed. Search for drivers in the menu and click on this. Here you can see that it's already using the latest proprietary drivers. Now for some people it might be no open source driver. It's fine to use that driver, but the proprietary 470 driver comes with significant performance gains, so I recommend you select that and click on Apply Changes. Give it some time to download and install and restart the computer after that. If you have AMD or Intel integrated GPUs, then the best drivers will be in the Linux kernel itself. You don't need to install anything additionally. Zorin and many other Linux-based distros cannot include some major media codecs in their installer file due to legal restrictions. But you do need to install these codecs, or else you will not be able to play a majority of media and you'll see this error. Even MP3 songs won't play out of the box. Ubuntu-restricted-extras is a collection of media codecs, important fonts, and tools like Flash Player. These codecs are crucial not only to play local media but for some online content as well. Install them by running sudo apt install ubuntu-restricted-extras. You'll be asked to accept the end user agreement. Press the tab button, then enter. Select yes with the arrow key and enter. Once this is done, here you can see that the video plays without any problems. Ubuntu-restricted-extras are very important components, but they are not available out of the box due to legal issues. But now we have them installed. As I always say, there's no excuse for not having a backup. And Timeshift backup is something that every Linux user must have. Timeshift is a very powerful software. It has the capacity to restore your system from the worst of crashes and mess-ups. It can even restore your operating system even if you completely delete your system. It's that powerful. And having this enables us Linux users to tinker under the hood and play with the inner workings of Linux without having to worry about breaking the system. And now that we have our system set up, it's time to make a backup. Install Timeshift using the commands given in the description below. Once it is done, open it. You have two options in the backup type. Keep rsync checked and click on next. It'll estimate your system size and then you'll be asked to choose the location to store your backup. You can choose any partition, even the partition you have installed the system. Totally fine. But I'd suggest you format a pen drive to ext4 and backup to that. That way, even if you literally format your entire hard drive or burn it, you can get back your system to this current state with Timeshift. I'm not kidding. Click next. Here you can set up automatic backups. You have various frequencies. We'll pass that as we are backing up a completely set up system that has all the drivers and all the software we need. That's enough I think, but feel free to keep a monthly backup too. Just click next here. And on this page, click on create. This will create a backup of the system obviously, which you can roll back to any moment you want. I want to make it clear that Timeshift does not back your personal files like your documents, photos, and projects by default. It's a system backup tool. In case you break your operating system or any future update breaks your system, you can restore your system to this particular moment with Timeshift. It's a great tool and it has saved my system innumerable times. Yeah, I tinker a lot. Alright, this one is my favorite. Everybody has some favorite applications that they use more than other applications. Your favorite browser, the IDE you use for your development, and many more. Now Preload is an intelligent daemon that observes which applications you use the most and keeps them in memory even before you open them. Let's say you use Firefox browser a lot. When you click on the Firefox app icon, an ample amount of time is needed for the application to be read from the hard disk and loaded into memory. With Preload enabled, your computer already knows you use Firefox a lot, so it's already kept in the memory. Click on the icon and bam, there it is. Preload makes your computer very responsive. Just think about it. The computer will have to read and load the applications from your hard disk when you click on the icon anyway. Why not do it beforehand itself? If you have 8 gigs or more RAM, Preload will do wonders for your app startup times. All you need to do is install it. Open a terminal and run sudo apt install preload. That's it. You don't need to do anything more. No configuration, no tuning up, everything will be automatic. Continue using your computer. Preload will need some time to learn which apps you use the most, so you'll see the results after some time. Remember, only the apps you use the most and more frequently will become faster, not all the apps. Zorin 16 ships with out-of-the-box support for smartphone integration. It's called Zorin Connect and it's a derivative of the KDE Connect project. You need to download the Zorin Connect mobile app from the Play Store. Then open Zorin Connect on both your PC and smartphone. You should be on the same Wi-Fi for this to work. Then pair them. With Zorin Connect, you can pair your Android smartphone with your Zorin PC and get notifications and messages on your PC. Send and receive files, use your phone as remote control for your PC and do so much more. Zorin Connect works seamlessly on both PC and smartphone. You can access your phone through the system tray on PC. Zorin Connect on your phone has granular permissions where you can allow permissions for just the features you want to use. This is a nice privacy-centric touch. On your PC, the integration is amazing. You can directly right-click on files and send them to your phone. I love this. With Zorin Connect, life just gets so much more convenient for you. This should be an inbuilt feature in all the operating systems now. I mean, 2022 is just ahead. We spend so much of our time on our browser. While I love Chrome, Firefox is my default browser because it's awesome. And I'll show you 2 tweaks that'll make it even more awesome and faster. The GPU in your computer will be pretty much idle most of the time. GPUs are extremely powerful for certain kinds of tasks like rendering. Far better than the CPU. But by default, browsers on Linux use the CPU to do most of the work. While this is fine, it's not the best possible web browsing experience you can get. You paid for that GPU, let's put him to work. You'll see significant improvements. First, let's enable hardware acceleration. Open Firefox and type in about:config and hit enter. Click on accept. Here, paste this line from the description below and toggle this from false to true. This will enable hardware acceleration on your computer, which is set to false by default on Linux. This alone will give you much smoother animations and scrolling. Your PC will handle larger websites much easily now. You can check out the performance difference by playing some online games or just scrolling on YouTube. But that's not all. Let's take it one more step by turning on WebRender. Paste this in the About config page and toggle the value to true just like you did the first one. You need to restart your browser to see the improvements. Of course, if you get any kind of negative effect, you can just turn them both back to false. Now it's time to bump up your internet speed with an optimized DNS. When you type in a website URL and hit enter, you might have noticed that there's a short gap before the actual website starts to load. During that time, the actual IP address of the website you requested will be getting resolved. This might take a short time, medium amount of time, or a long time based on the DNS that your internet provider is using for you by default. Now, you might have a very high-speed internet. We are not talking about the download or upload speeds here. Simply put, we are talking about the time it takes to connect to a website, and this can be improved significantly by changing the DNS. We are talking stellar, noticeable improvements here. Let's get into it. Click on the connected Wi-Fi or wired connection, and click on Settings. Click on the gear icon here. In the IPv4 section, turn off the automatic toggle and in this text box, paste the numbers from the description below. We are going to use Google DNS, which is really good. It's reliable and resolves IP addresses very fast. I've used many custom DNS and Google and Cloudflare DNS tend to work the best. I prefer the Google one. Apply the settings, turn off the Wi-Fi and turn it back on. Enjoy a faster connection. Zorin OS now lets you install and run Windows applications. For this, you just need to download any Windows application and open the file. Zorin will ask for your permission and auto-install Wine, Play on Linux and some other components that enable you to install and run Windows applications on Zorin. Every time you run a Windows app installer file, Zorin OS first checks if that particular app has a native Linux version and lets you install it natively with a single click. If that particular app or game is not available on Linux natively, then Zorin OS checks for the best installation configuration on Play on Linux. The whole thing is integrated into the OS so nicely. Installing Windows app has been made into a very native experience. This is a really fantastic feature that will be appreciated by Windows users who have switched to Linux. If you don't use Windows apps on Linux like me, you can just skip this. Zorin OS is streamlined for productivity and features a sleek panel at the bottom for favorite apps. You can add your most used applications here by right-clicking on them in the menu and adding them as favorites. Quick tip. You can launch these applications by pressing the Windows button or the Super button plus the number of their order. For example, Super +1 will open Firefox. GNOME lets you connect your desktop to major online services like Google and Microsoft and sync your data. Since Zorin uses GNOME too, you can do that here. I personally always connect to my Google account as it gives me really cool features like Google Drive integration in files here, calendar, contacts and photo sync, which is really amazing. In settings, go to online accounts, select the service and then log in with your credentials. Then you can choose what all is synced. Really neat. Research has shown that staring at screens later in the evening and night significantly reduces your sleep quality and quantity. This done on a regular basis can be detrimental to health and mental health. Looking at bright screens and lights at night confuses your circadian rhythms. While absolutely stopping screen time near bedtime will do wonders for your sleep quality and your mood and alertness the next day, it's not always practical. But science has the next best thing. With Nightlight, your computer screen starts to change to warmer colors as the sun starts going down. This significantly promotes melatonin production in your body. You fall asleep faster, you sleep deeper. Trust me, you gotta try to feel it. I enable night shift on my computer, my Android phone, and even my bedroom light. I kid you not, the difference in my sleep quality is astronomical. Definitely try this one. If you are on a laptop, then one thing you'd appreciate for sure is a better battery life, no matter how good or bad it is currently. Linux distros are not specially known for battery life, but this little tool called TLP can help. TLP is a power management utility that tweaks certain aspects of the operating system to improve the battery life when your laptop is disconnected from the power source. TLP is very powerful and automatically optimizes background tasks, processor frequency, Wi-Fi, USB and other power saving modes. It comes with the best configuration for power saving on battery and performance when connected to a charger. So all you have to do is install it and it'll handle everything by itself. Open a terminal and run sudo apt install TLP. Enjoy an improved battery backup. If you're using a modern laptop, there's a good chance that your screen resolution is either 1080p or more. While this makes the display look crisp and detailed, it can also make text and other elements look smaller to the eye. This is pretty much no problem on desktops, but on laptops, the smaller the screen size, more of an issue this is. To overcome this, we'll use fractional scaling. Go to display settings and enable fractional scaling. Then you can select 125%, which will make everything exactly the right size on most laptop screens. Gaming on Linux has now become better than ever. A good number of major games are now available natively on Linux. And now, with Steam's new Proton feature, a majority of Windows exclusive games like The Witcher 3, GTA 5, Doom Eternal, and many more are playable on Linux. That too without any wine or play on Linux hassle. You just enable Steam Play and click on install. The games install and run like they are Linux native. So yeah, Steam is a must-have for both gaming enthusiasts and for casual gaming. You can install Steam from the software store and get gaming. Check ProtonDB for which Windows games run fine. Zorin 16 has been created to suit everybody's computational needs and preferences. While the optimized default settings are great, you can make your system more to your liking. Open settings. The most important thing you should be doing is changing the wallpaper. You can manage your notifications, adjust the privacy settings, tweak the search. There's so much more here. Just take your time and explore everything. Alright, now that our system has been optimized in pretty much every way, it's time to clean it up and start using it. Although Linux systems don't need any kind of housekeeping or maintenance, cleaning it up a couple of times every year can be beneficial. Not necessary, but definitely beneficial. For this, we'll use the good old Bleachbit. Install it by running sudo apt install Bleachbit. Restart your computer if you applied any updates before you run Bleachbit. Open Bleachbit as root and check the entries here. If you get warnings on any tick, just click on cancel. And once it's done, you can preview the junk on your system and clean it. You can also run Bleachbit without root to delete application and browser junk. Run this every 6 months or so and you'll feel your computer get instantly more responsive. Zorin 16 has stunning features, an impressive design, and a whole new world of apps that will transform how you experience your computer. This is not just one of the best desktop Linux distributions, but undeniably one of the best desktop operating systems available today. No matter if you're a Linux newcomer or an experienced Linux user, Zorin 16 will appease you. This system provides one of the best computational experiences out there, so go ahead, soak it in and enjoy it. Well, that's it for today guys. If you found this video helpful, if you enjoyed this video, do consider subscribing to my channel. Also connect with me on Instagram and check me out on Patreon. Next up, check out the top 15 fantastic Linux applications that you must have installed on your computer. That's it for today guys. See you in the next one.